And that's the fun part, right? Is
yes.
I think both of these comps have actively solidified what these teams want to do right now. Weibo are the fast, loose, aggressive team that want to skirmish a lot, but that puts pressure on them.
As you can see, Hope and Kyle already looking to step up to try and neutralize this wave state, but we talked about these junglers and how proactive they want to be early. Good call came in. Here comes Tarzan, king of the jungle, looking to make his first effect onto the Rift here. Problem is, you do have an arcane shift on Elk, so he gets out, but they turn onto Arha, and he doesn't even flash. He just accepts his fate, and it's that easy. Anyone's Legend strike first in our series.
Topside pressure is going to be worth it here for AL as they continue to use their bot lane to shove out this wave.
Yeah, we got all those quests done, which means we can finally return to Professional League Legends' favorite thing, lane swapping. Is hello, Flandre gets the big smashing and knock-up in Unstoppable Onslaught, holds Zika in place, and buys enough time for this TP to come through, and Shanks just wallops Zika into his own turret. Really well played there between the solo lanes of Anyone's Legend, showing why they are so good on the map. I think it was Melvin talking about it, was we just love in the LPL to burn key summers and cooldowns right before major objectives. All right. Here's one of those ultimates. They're going after Shanks. He's clear out the wave, though. Kyle's here. The Fate Shield's still going to hit. The Encore, both the members of the dive flash out of it, so Kyle can't even find a trade here. And now he's kind of trapped under turret, right? Xiaohu's going to take out the wave. They bring an extra member over in Arha. Tarzan's not going to be in the area. Hope can't get over here. And Kyle is going to have to pay for the transgressions of trying to save his mid laner. That's a double up for Weibo.
Ask and I shall receive. I wanted to see this Pantheon Yone combo really ramp up in the mid game here, and that's exactly what we got. Tarzan has been in the area on this bot side. He wants to contest this dragon, but there really should be no way for him to do that easily. I would imagine this ends up being a trade of objectives. Dragon taken for Weibo, their second of the game, and then potentially Rift Herald prioritized here for Anyone's Legend.
What a ceremonious moment for JJ in the game state, being 3-0 on this Pantheon, the biggest gold lead on either matchup, and also obviously getting over to 1,500 kills in the LPL. So congrats to you, JJ, on that moment. But you've now put a lot of the brunt on your shoulders for this mid game. Still, though, all that map pressure is starting to help out Weibo in other facets as well. Xiaohu is going to be able to pick up this bottom lane tier 1 turret to make that a trade for the Rift Herald here. And now is where the game is going to become pretty fun, sort of, you know, either high or in a neutral position. And Azir's escapability, Ezreal's escapability is one of those markers here, as we may have a play onto JJ. Soppel onslaught into the Ash Arrow. Agent of Assault's going to at least block the damage, but the stuns land all the same. The Rumble Equalizer does come out. JJ gets a good heal from Arha, but it's just too much damage and no response for Weibo. Down goes the 3-kill Pantheon.
And that's the exact play that you need to make at that point in time. Xiaohu trying to look aggressive onto Shanks here, but it's so hard for this Yone to capitalize on the Azir. The reason that that's so relevant is because that's the biggest spike for Jeje in the game. Black Cleaver is done. Herald's gonna get dropped in the mid lane. That's mid lane tier 1. It's gonna be even more in terms of the charge as we see this Herald actually brought down.
Oh yeah,
see if he can drift it onto the bot side. Tarzan?
Weave! Yeah, he's going to get it. Zika doesn't even have an idea this happens until plop. There's a bunch of voidlings behind him. And this is a really positive sign here, K-Man, from Shanks joining up with AL. They are not going to let Weibo get to this soul point position, and Flandre, with his own super TP shield, is going to stand tall in the line. But there's the Ash Arrow from Hope. Is going to immediately be cleansed out, I believe, by Mikhail's from Arha. So that big engage ult off the board for AL, but it's bought them enough space to start up this dragon. Xiaohu is hunting for a big flank with that big enhanced blast. He's going to go in, but it's a secure from Tarzan. Flashes away from the Fate Shield as well, so Xiaohu doesn't get on any of these targets, and Tarzan flag and drags out of the pit, and now AL can reset their battle line. JJ going to go into the background with a big Grand Starfall, but it's the Cataclysm onto Xiaohu, traps him in place, Shanks takes him down, and now Flandre can stand tall and say, JJ, you cannot pass to my carries. Shanks picks up the double kill, masterful fight there from AL, and they're going to turn their victorious team fight right over to the Baron pit.
It's absolutely gorgeous from Anyone's Legend in terms of their execution. They get in, they get out, they get a couple of kills for their trouble, and because the fight is so overwhelmingly positive, they're on Baron now. Weibo gonna try and do something to flash onto Shanks.
Oh, that was a great use of the overheat from Zika. Shanks does get caught out, but Zika takes all of his HP. Elk is already down to half HP. The Baron, though, doing good shred. The split one, all pro 80 carry Elk needs to do the heavy lifting here if AL are gonna get knocked off this Baron, but he's taking the long way around. He's left Arha up creek with no paddle. Snarfall down to about 25% HP. The TP's coming through. AL need to pick up this Baron now. Tarzan will get the smite. It's Xiao who rejoins the fight. They go after Flandre with Zika coming out of the brush. They get rid of the Scion, but trade their top laner. Xiao who forward with the soul unbound form. Doesn't find much, and Arha will finally drop to the zombified corpse of Flandre that will get the rest of AL out with 4 members holding on to Baron.
The Baron call from there is very greedy and aggressive, but it works out. Now Shanks!
Shanks caught in an instant. He's got a 3v1 in front of him. He's going to burn out on that Seekers, but he was as good as dead. Falls for the death brush. Didn't even see it coming. Weibo get a clutch pick.
Shanks already dying in the previous fight, so not going to be taking a Baron buff off of someone, but look at the Baron power play right now. It's a minute and a half left, and they're up 400 gold, 14 gold, whatever
gold.
you want to... Yeah, they're now down gold officially with that top lane tower going to Xiaohu. I mean, it's just... Oh, and as we see, Tarzan actually dying in our replay here, with Xiaohu being able to kill him under the tower as well.
Weibo, no, the Dragon Soul is the way that they can win this game 1, and they want all parties here early to try and fight back for Vision.
Yeah, specifically, you are on that 3-item power spike here for Xiaohu. This Yone is going to be massive if he can land an ult here as we set up.
No Flandre yet. Oh, they flash after Hope. The stun doesn't land in time. JJ gets down onto Hope. The Michaelis comes across. Hope is now going to kite back, and nobody else can get through this choke. It's just JJ with hopes and prayers that don't mean Jack squad. He goes down first, and Shanks flies in with a Shuriman Shuffle to get rid of Zika. The Fate Sealed only clips onto Tarzan, and Weibo's team fight falls completely flat. It's a flash arcane shift from Elk to get back 1, but now it's him against the world here.
Looks very, very good, but once again, some pivotal carries getting taken out for anyone's legend, and Weibo are going to be the team to start up on the Dragon now.
Damn, Elk. Feels like he's calling the shots. He's arcane forward into Hope, but that was L and Fies. He's still able to find the kill next to Xiao. His Tarzan can't get the trade. Elk gets out just in the nick of time, and Elk Flandre's TP is completely errored. He flashes out of the pit. All of a sudden, Weibo are on to Chemtech's Soul Point, all thanks to their big bad AD carry. Are going to start the Baron on Vision. They feel like they've caught Weibo on a reset timer. That's exactly what they've done. Look at Elk. He's still walking over. Grand Snarfall's going to come down here for JJ, but he's got to put together another big steal, and he does just that! Flashes right into the pitch and snatches away the Baron from Tarzan. It's Xiaohu onto the backline. Then they get on top of Hope. He's down. Shanks hits a big 4-man dream and shuffle, but it doesn't matter. It's too little, too late. The highway robbery of JJ might have just shocked AL into a Weibo Gaming Game 1. It's only Shanks left up as Flandre goes zombified. Weibo with control and destiny charging towards the Nexus.
The veteran leader for Weibo Gaming comes up clutch once again. That is the biggest possible play that he could make in this entire game. They are marching down on the top side right now, and these death timers are long. Weibo want to end this game number 1 right now and take us to game 2.
I don't think Shanks can do it. He doesn't have that Emperor's Divide. I mean, Elk takes a ton of harass, though, for no reason.
It's over by that point. Dragon has been started. This is Soul. You cannot give this over if you're AL.
But they're completely pushed out of the pit here, and Xiaohu does so much damage to this Dragon. He's looking to come over the wall. He goes into that Fate Unsealed spot. There's the Fate Unsealed ult. He gets onto Shanks, but he gets immediately thrown out of it. But Weibo, Elk eviscerates Kael. Xiaohu's on top of the Dragon. He's going to secure his JJ. Goes after the carries. Tarzan cannot kill off Elk. He's unleashed and too powerful for AL to deal with. That will be the game, and it's stamped off in the most perfect way. Weibo Elk is back and ready to roar in the playoffs, and he started off by shocking AL to give Weibo a Game 1 win.
Weibo Gaming strike first, and they strike aggressively in game number 1. Everything you could have ever wanted to see, we got. This is going to be a real fun one, Slayer, because Weibo have clearly come to play today.
Weibo throwing a sucker punch of all sucker punches.
You know, I think we can see from the damage charts here, all of that gold on Hope, all of that gold on Shanks, even if he was dying at points in this game, it didn't matter. Elk and Zika being the top damage dealers in this game, Xiaohu doing just as much as Shanks, even more so than the Azir in the late game in terms of his team fighting.
Hats off to Weibo, man. I just think they've done a phenomenal job cornering AL into having to play a comp that they wanted to go for, like a Tarzan carry-esque performance, but
we see Flandre at least getting shoved in, but that pressure is going to allow AL to pick up this Dragon. That's what Hope and Kael are generating for this team on the bottom side with that Misfortune and Nico.
totally comfortable saying, I've got some camps to clear, it seems like.
Oh,
I'll give over
things
the
are
grubs,
coming
but now
down.
JJ, yeah, he's walking forward. Arha is here. We have a bit of a 3v3. Top laners could join soon as Tarzan will take down the first grub. Weibo feeling really cautious about this approach. They can't decide if they want to juggle for those grubs. The grubs are already going to go down, and there's the demonic ascension to Shake. Does look for the engage. Here comes the Pop Blossom on to 3, into the hero's entrance knockup. It's going to grab 2 more. Xiaohu with that ult is really hard to cut down. The crescent guard from Jinja does come out as Tarzan dives all the way after Jinja and cuts him down to size and sets his sights right back over onto the Zahan. Just like that, Tarzan picks up a double. Xiaohu with the demonic ascension will find a trade, and this is the problem with the Swain. You have a low range comp, but that's exactly where the Swain wants to corner you. Xiaohu seemingly not taking any damage. Can anybody shut down this Swain? No, Xiaohu keeps on firing feathers over and over. Finally, Tarzan cuts him down to size, but that is a boding, foreshadowed message from Weibo. These fights are not going to be easy. They have an inkling that Tarzan may be here. Jed's just going to read it well, but I want to give them props. There is all AL vision here. They don't have vision on JJ, who gets over the wall perfectly, and that's immediately going to ruin the dive. Flandra looks for a JJ flash forward. When he comes light, he gets the slow. Flandra should get knocked up as he pops the dominance, but Zika gets the pullback here. Flandra cannot heal in time. JJ is reading all of the Tarzan plays like a book in this series right now, and it thwarts him again. I know you're talking to me about how this is like a slow cooking comp for Weibo, but all I've seen these last couple of minutes is Xiaohu get accelerated, Elk getting, I mean, they have an inkling that Tarzan may be here. Jed's just going to read it well, but I want to give them props. There is all AL vision here. They don't have vision on JJ, who gets over the wall perfectly, and that's immediately going to ruin the dive. Flandra looks for a JJ flash forward. When he comes light, he gets the slow. Flandra should get knocked up as he pops the dominance, but Zika gets the pullback here. Flandra cannot heal in time. JJ is reading all of the Tarzan plays like a book in this series right now, and it thwarts him again.
It's another.
Because the signs are just continuing to point towards a worrying trend for the split number one seed. As Tarzan's gonna jump over the wall, but Elk says, hello, I've got damage for you too, buddies. He transcends and just backs Tarzan off and takes Hope down under his turret. There's the wild growth. It will be a trade. Elk goes a bit too far forward, but Jenja's there to cover. Tarzan looks for the re-engage as Kyle shows up. Crescent Guard's gonna come down. The Pop Blossom's too late. The dogs have been sent back to the pound. Another win for Weibo, and it's again JJ at the right place at the right time. Will have to secede control of this top lane tier 1 turret, but it's still a trade. JJ immediately onto the third Drake of the game and will trade raw gold for a scaling advantage to Weibo.
Yeah, I really like this from Weibo. Starting to stack these dragons is going to make things much easier for them as the game continues to go along. It's an okay trade for AL. I actually really like their Rift Herald usage in this game, but they don't want Rift Herald. They want Zika still on the top side.
It's just, Tarzan now, he jumps over the wall, he takes a couple of turret shots. It's the flash out of Zika, sure, but there's nothing really valuable being traded for that dragon, and where is the rest of Weibo? They move on up the river, and now they get the Herald. There's nothing AL can do to answer this. And every one of those fights where Xiaohu can come back with one of these critical items, it's just, again, oh, Kyle gonna get caught here. When it becomes lightning, knockup's gonna come.
He's just dead.
A crescent guard down. Kyle's just dead. No flash, he already had to burn it, and the best players in their role from a year ago in the LPL continue to look more and more mortal in this series.
I mean, it's just not respecting Arha, I guess. That's the only thing that can come to mind is not respecting the fact that he can immediately get shut down in that engage. Yes, you kind of, it's going to give them even more in terms of this fight potentially. As Baron is spawned, Kyle is caught again.
It's deja vu again. He's just getting walked down by Elk. I mean, he's got his pocket Lulu. He fears nobody, and Kyle refuses to learn from his previous transgressions, and now Weibo are just going to keep looking for more here. They go for a mid lane play on the tier 1, but they've got a 1v2 in the bot side as well as Flandra. He has the dominance, but it means nothing. Here comes the AL response towards the mid lane, but how are you going to dash a Galio and a Fury into Xiaohu when he has Demonic Ascension popped and a Lulu next to him? They at least get him to flash away from Shanks and Tarzan. But these are very fleeting wins as Weibo have swung the gold lead way over into their category.
I mean, the prize of the play is Swain Flash, where you're giving up bodies left and right throughout the entire map.
But Weibo, interesting decision here. It looks like they're going to sack the dragon to get the mid-tier 1 turret. Yeah, they're going to sack Soul Point for some immediate gold.
Oh, we got a fight going on the top side, too.
Ultimate
Just
chicken.
a bit of an ultimate trade. Yeah, it ends up being chicken. I thought something potentially could have happened there, but yes, it is just the mid-tier 1-4 Dragon trade. I don't hate this entirely for Weibo. Would have preferred that they forced that fight, but AL still are strong right now. Here is the fight, though.
Shanks. JJ dashes after him, gets the knock up here. Xiaohu gonna wait for that demonic ascension to come back up. His bullet time does come down, but JJ knocks it out of the park there. No bullet time and a dead Shanks here. Xiaohu steps back forward, the never move, trying to get rid of Hope. The pop blossom from Kyle is used defensively. Zika flashes after and pulls Hope right into the waiting arms of Elk again, as Hope drops with very minimal impact once more. And Weibo show that stacked up as 5, they are lethal.
One of the reasons we like this comp for AL is because if they do have control over the river, you actually have a lot of ways to punish Kyle. Okay, he's fine. He's okay.
But JJ?
JJ's not?
Tarzan and Flandre are going to jump onto him, but Tarzan, I mean, he's losing the trade into JJ. Elk's going to flash over. Tarzan has to flash away. Flandre can't get this kill done on his own. The bullet time just hits on Elk for about half HP. Tarzan goes right back in, but the wild growth and the polymorph shuts down Tarzan again. They go after Xiao, who goes into the stasis. He's getting the heroic, but the hero's entrance cuts down the Swain. AL are able to section off Weibo and cut them down to size. One measly kill as all 10 of our players show up for the bout. Strutting his stuff as Weibo use him and JJ to kind of push AL further down the river. Neither top laner looking for a TP angle just yet. Maybe finally it'll be Zika. It looks like he might just try and walk down. Nope, both top laners will take a recall, maybe try and get last buy-in before they make it down towards this dragon. Kyle's got a flank set up with a jump onto Shanks first. Good taunt to get JJ off him as Tarzan pokes and prods. Kyle into the background, gets a 2-man pop blossom onto Elk. He dashes out of the hero's entrance. The bullet time's not going to hit anybody. Elk is protected. He had to get back into this fight to start wielding down hammers. He does, but Flandre takes one of Erha. Sahu has to flash back over the wall. Flandre's going to go after him. Grim deliverance from Sika. They go after Elk, but Tarzan doesn't get to him. Elk over the wall, cuts down Flandre on the size. Sika revives. They get Sahu on the way out. Tarzan gets one. Hope steps up and trades out Elk. Finally, Hope showing up to this series, and it saves a tight fight between our two teams.
A 4-for-4 on both sides here for AL and Weibo Gaming. What a chaotic fight that ends up really equalizing out. Zika going to push down the mid lane, going to try and get some gold here as he actually uses his Demolish to take this entire turret here for Zahen. But with Tarzan still on the map, Dragon is very much available for anyone's legend. That would be Soul Point. This is massive if they can pick it up.
It's Weibo on it. How does AL work their way in here? They don't. They say, this is not for Soul. We are not flipping the game here with Baron on the other side of the map. And Weibo just kind of brute force their way into Ocean Soul Point.
Things can get tough, but Weibo are getting flanked here.
Looking to try and put Kyle in a position to get onto Arha, right? That's the big grab. Elk or Arha with this Pop Blossom can really set AL on the right track forward. Oh, TP coming across here. This is that Zahen from Zika. AL are kind of starting to get cornered here. The slow lands onto Hope Xiao, who has them cornered. Neither Soul Lane can get here. It's the hero entrance come through the Pop Blossom defensively from Kyle. There's the Pop Blossom turnaround with the bullet time, but it's Hope already cut down. Flandre goes after one. He'll finally find the kill onto Arha, but that means Elk is fully unleashed. The GA's taken away. Tarzan never gets a shot in this fight. It's Weibo playing the map better, playing the flanks better, and getting themselves a clutch Baron that could decide this game too.
Weibo Gaming continue to keep their foot on the pedal, and they drive themselves right into a Baron take in this game. We thought their lead was big before. What a flank from Zika to get right on top of the AD carry. Tarzan not going to be in the area to even try and steal this. Shanks is going to pick up tier 1 mid as a consolation prize.
They're not moving anywhere towards it. AL are completely stagnant. They're giving up Ocean Soul. Tarzan's backing in way disrespectful positions. AL are floundering like a fish out of water, and it's now Kyle that gets caught using the Pop Blossom, but the Crypt Derivalence is better. Arha's there to power up the Zahen, who has a revive as Flandre knocks him down, but JJ re-engages, and Elk pops Flandre with those feet under bolts, dashes over the wall, and he wants more. Hungry to cut down every member of AL, auto after auto. 3 members leave to tell the tale, but their base is the next target for an Ocean Soul-bound Weibo.
Slayer Zahen is in the middle of 5 people by himself, and you call it as AL getting caught. That's how dangerous Weibo are as they march down on this bottom side looking for the end.
It is the split 1 #1 seed, one of the best teams the LPL had in 2025 against a new-look Weibo. And they are a couple Nexus turrets away from putting the end of AL season 1 game away. Shanks is caught by another never move. Xiaohu goes into the demonic ascension and dares any of AL members to stand in his death-defying grasp. All of AL flounder. It's only Tarzan to watch his series crumble. 2-0 to Weibo. Before we got into game 2, you were saying, what was the quote? I think it was, reverse sweeps are near impossible for players of this caliber. That's what AL have to do now. Hey, Hope Man, really tough misfortune angle last time. Good luck. That is a Nocturne ult, a Rakan ult, and a Camille ult. Zika not even in the brush. He walks all the way back to his tier 2 turret. Ultimate respect to Tarzan, who was hunting. And Xiao who's going to flash on Shanks in the mid lane.
No flash on Shanks.
Set up the Root Prism, and that is a snake with his head soon to be separated from his body. It's only a matter of time before Xiaohu, JJ, picks up first blood. Great revisit as JJ's Masterclass series just continues.
Slayer, you know why that's even more concerning? Because Nocturne's not even level 6 yet. Kyle, though, looking.
Flash stun, crashed out. Flandre gets the knock-up. Is there enough damage? Yes, the double grand entrance from Arha isn't there. Nice little find from Kyle, because that window was narrow. And despite how slow-natured this clear was, with Hope's help, that will be the Cloud Drake secured by Tarzan. Weibo are making rumblings in this river. Arha in the area looking for a grand entrance knock-up. Hope, good sidestep there.
Now they're sitting at a point where they just don't really have a lot of tempo. Tarzan on the bot side, gonna look for something on Elk, but there's nothing to find here. It's Sivir under tower. That's free grubs going over to Weibo Gaming, and once again, it's an objective that they get without any pushback. Both of them having a ton of accomplishments. One of them being a world champion, but
there's the paranoia. Hextech ultimatum. The lockdown we were looking at from draft springs the trap for the first time under Weibo's name, and it's Zika getting a critical kill.
Oh, Shanks.
Xiaohu. Do they even need their ultimates to spring this trap? They got a Root Prism, a flash to get the fear down. Shanks, he flashes, he turns the punch fine guys, but JJ gets around it. Flandre coming in, trying to get the knock-up. Shanks is very low, but that's a clutch find from Flandre to save Shanks for another fight. This is just been trying to kite away from Xiaohu. Flandre's trying to play bodyguard to make sure none of these Qs can land, but the flash and the hook shot from Zika finds that trade kill. Where is Tarzan? Where is the rest of AL trying to back up their solo lanes? They're trading this for a dragon. It's gold to Weibo and a new clear victory point for AL with 2 dragons stacked up. But it was all a bit of a ruse to get Hope in an uncomfortable spot, and that includes his turret. Lights go out, chains of corruption, a fleeting hope that has been dashed as Kyle looks for the play that crashed out into the stun, layered with a sweep display of talent, and we're getting plays on all sides of the map now. 1 kill apiece split across the top and bot lanes.
Yeah, great kill-for-kill trade there for both teams. I think they gain a lot from that. Now it's just a race to see where the first tower is going to go down. Will it be Weibo?
And now Shanks has found Xiao, who's trying to cover the Hex Gates. We'll get JJ on out of there safe and sound. And now we have some TPs being wagered, but Flandre, with all that action on the bot side, will pick up that first turn and use his tunnels to get away there from Zika. A good look from Tarzan, but that's a lot of resources just to get 1 measly support as Xiaohu looks for the trade onto a bot lane tier 1 turret.
Yeah, it's definitely nice. You're getting a little more than the support, luckily, because the Herald is spawning at this exact moment, so that's a free pickup for anyone's legend. That should help them at least, kind of neutralize some of the gold they lose from this particular tower, but specifically it going on Rise, I think is really important.
He's going to have to make his way down here. This is Hextech's sole point. AL's clear win con left in the game, and Weibo look a little bit disjointed, undecided what they want to do. Zika will just now finish off the turret, and he's not TPing. Weibo are going to give up sole point and trade immediate gold for it.
I really don't like this trade, Slayer. I understand that you are getting gold onto the Camille, but we're looking bot side. Shanks is immobile.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Lights out. Nocturne on top of you. Nice flank, Shanks. Guess who's behind you? It's Zika. Another great wrap. Hexing ultimatum with Kyle, who's like a fish out of water, completely caught. Tarzan has to throw down a split talent, hits onto 4, and he uses the Herald to allow Kyle to escape, but the Realm Warp brings 4 forward. After Tarzan goes Zika with the hook shot, but Tarzan gets out. Chains of Corruption can hold Zika in place. Kyle goes after the mid-tier 1 turret with his Herald, as Hope does end up popping Zika. Doesn't flash out in time as Elk's Boomerang Blades will find that trade. Pandemonium came in and somehow ends up with a positive kill trade for Weibo, but positive turret trades for AL.
able to get out of here. Really nice petrifying gaze from him. Unfortunately, you've got the Camille on the back end, and that makes this tough. Kyle a little bit out of position. He should be dead, but the Tarzan save from the Herald is absolutely massive. The flank coming in from Elk, who's a little bit out of position to be able to speed up the rest of the team, but the knock-up coming in from the Herald as well, actually delaying the ability for the rest of the team to get in after the Realm Warp. It does cost Hope his life. Tarzan able... Yeah, Shanks has to TP in because he's so out of position. They're going to try and force this fight before Zika can get here.
There's Kyle, gets onto Elk, the sprint to slay down is perfect! There's Tarzan and Kyle linking up, and Shanks does it, the Petrified Gaze to block everybody else off, and the Void Rush from Flandra finds Arha, and AL finally get back to a fight-winning way, absolutely wiping down Weibo. Zika just has to watch as his entire team falls. AL fight win, maybe just secures them this game win, because they get the Hextech Soul as the crown jewel of their victory.
It's a game-losing mistake here from Weibo Gaming. They have such a good setup, but the teleport coming in from Shanks is just not identified quick enough from Zika, who fails to be able to travel back. The moment they can start to play front-to-back in a 5v4, this game is looking dire, especially with that Hextech Soul. This is why you can't really afford to give over Soul Point for free. It's a massive mental error. Xiao could be in trouble under this tower if he's not careful on this rise, but it's going to be that push coming in, this Baron buff being utilized to full effect by anyone's legend as they continue to just destroy what is remaining of Weibo's base.
There goes another turret. Trying to get rid of all those tier 2 turrets. Weibo have been very cognizant of trying to defend the mid tier 2, but the 4-1 block is a staple for a reason. Wander going to bring another wave up to that aforementioned turret. Won't necessarily look to try and crack it here. He's trying to look to see if any fight breaks out, knowing the fact that a Paranoia, a Realm Warp, and an Instinct can put Weibo in a better position to fight. But for the fake gold leads into scale comps conversation, we're just not even there yet for Weibo even.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough.
Okay.
Really aggro is going to get some ults, but he's just dead up here, no?
Yeah, he's completely dead. Hey, congrats on, not staring at Medusa's stone vision there on the Petrifying Gaze, but one-way trip there for Zika, and it could not come out of a worse time. It is 15 seconds till the Elder. He has no way to look in. They've got the Scrying Orb down. It's late. JJ can even get here. Elk gets caught by Kyle. There's no way into this pit, but Flandra and AL, they're looking to try and turn a fight before the Elder's secured here. They can't really make up their mind. Tarzan at home. They need to finally finish off this Elder. It's no vision. Lights go out. Elder's secured. It's still a flash over the wall from Kyle to get out, but Flandra's here. Level 18. Big tank Rek'Sai. Just going to continue walking forward next to Shanks, pushing all the Weibo away, shooing them away, one at a time. AL, you feel like because they're down 0-2, like that's why they're taking this really slow, critical approach to all these objectives. They don't even want to like give Weibo a shot to flip this game this late.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of it. I think at this point, you might as well, right? Like, you're not really losing any time by going and taking the Baron, and you can immediately start pushing the top wave. Like, you can send somebody to stop this Camille, who is taking a bit of gold, but if it's a base race you want, it's a base race I'm sure that they will be happy to take, especially since Nocturne is only backing right now. The spot lane turret is not long for this world, neither will this mid lane one. Kyle?
It's a very forward strong crash down, but he's not punished nonetheless. Shanks eats a Root Prism. They're trading some health economy for space on these inhibitors, but the inhibitors are going to fall. Both picked up in the top and mid wave, as Zika will return from his escapade to get one tier 2 turret of value. AL circling the entrapment known as Weibo's base that is closing down space, crumbling second by second. Next is turret first down. Weibo, you gotta make a stand at some point as the lights go out. JJ doesn't even go in though. Elk feels no comfort as next turrets are down. It's JJ that goes after Hope, but there's the Greybeard Elder Barrel's breath coming through to take down one. KL will fall. Shanks gets put into a state. Self does find a second kill here. Arha goes down. Zika all of a sudden eviscerates Hope, but they have the Baron, they have the minions there, and they don't even need to kill off Big Bad Elk. AL avoid the sweep and win game 3. Let's roll Paranoias. We're Realm Warping. We're ulting on to Flandra like immediate 2v1, 3v1. There was like one play. Like we saw it, I think it was the third kill of the game where they did like the level 7 combo of Zika and JJ. Flandra was just dead, right? Like we get Flandra Vladimir. Hey, nice burst cop, bro. I'm just going to go in the Sanguine pool, and if it's late game, you're all getting deleted. Yo, AL, I'm saying it, man. You cannot choke this game. You cannot. Or get some extra gold off of Elk, it looks like. And Jija does not take this quickly on this Warwick with a longsword and a ruby crystal. Xiaohu's going to have the first room over. AL, they really want to make this fight happen. There's the Weaver's Wall. JJ goes down, flashes for the double fear, infinite for duress with the flay, kicks him out of the Warwick ultimate, and Tarzan jumps on him and capitalizes. Down goes JJ, and somehow, some way, the Super Snowball team has already been grinded to a halt. First Dragon and first blood to anyone's legend. He flays that Warwick out of that fear and the ultimate, and that makes the whole play happen. Is Shanks. Seismic shove, and there's Kyle again. Dissonance on his Xiaohu. Flay, the box comes down. Tarzan's going to flash after Xiaohu as he does. Distort over one wall, distorts over a second, but Tarzan layering these cleavers down like he's got aimbot. Hits on his Xiaohu again and runs him down. Tarzan 2-0, and just like that game 3 came in, it's Kyle and Tarzan taking over as a duo. We're just still setting up this, miniature warfare in the bottom lane as the lines continue to shift around these minion waves, waiting for somebody to break. It's the TP from Zika. Infinite Duress is going to land there on top of Kyle. They're just going to burn him down, try to take that kill. He puts down the box, he puts down the heal, but JJ will help Elk finally claim that kill. Tarzan with the maximum dosage, trying to run out, but the burst is too heavy. He falls next, and now it's 5 versus Hope. What are the odds? Not in AL's favor. He gets popped like a balloon to the tune of a double kill for Zika.
It's the perfect play for Weibo Gaming. They find their way back into this one of their solo laners into this game. But AL aren't done. They want to contest this.
Shanks, he was late to that play, and now he's not even getting the seismic shove. It's a smart flash with Xiaohu to secure the chains, but Dark Passage for Kyle gets him out. Instead, they've left JJ in the pit. He does secure the dragon, but Flandra TPing behind is going to likely find this kill with that Hema Plague. He's going to have to flash dash over the wall to find that one. So the dragon wasn't as easy and breezy as Weibo thought.
Again, the gold going onto Aurora is massive. One of the few champions that I do think has the ability to burst down some of these tanks in the later part of the game if she can find her way to the backline. Aphelios does have to be a bit careful. Collector now finished, but who's actually
wants to fight Xiaohu, but a nice chain and nice distort back means he gets enough position away. JJ comes through, the fear does not land. Sanguine Pool blocks it, but it won't block the claws of JJ, who howls to the moon and finds his first kill of the game on his Warwick.
Yeah, you know what? Not a bad play from Weibo. They actually go up in gold from that play. All things considered, it could have been worse. You do have small gold leads on your primary carries, but Tarzan now going to be the target.
Uses the blast going to be on top of Elk, and he goes after Arhog as Kyle hits another sweet death sentence. Nice Weaver's Wall from Shanks. Elk, where can you go? He cleanses the Valkyrie's short, he has to flash. Tarzan can't follow over that wall, but they've set up shop in this enemy jungle. Good smite from JJ, steals away a red buff as a consolation prize. But they can't chase the rest of AL out. They'll take the kill onto Arha.
Those are the kinds of plays that you can't be making, the mistakes that you can't be making. Rift Herald now acquired by AL in that same vein. That's even more gold standing on the map for them. Basically, every positive play they made over the past 2 minutes was erased there, and AL have once again regained control.
Playing on the edge of danger. The Herald going to be summoned here. Weaver's Wall from Shakes. Oh my god, guys. We just blew our own Rift Herald play there from Shakes. He blocks out Tarzan. Now they have to awkwardly walk down river as the dragon gets below 2k. Tarzan, do you have a steal in your hands? No, JJ secures it. Infernal Drake picked up. Big rocket from Elk. Now AL have to play on the back foot here. Do they really want to keep pushing for kills when they have an inside track towards the mid lane?
Yeah, this is so good for AL. They're taking mid tower. Weibo have to make a play.
Oh, there goes Zika. Going after Kyle. He's the target. He drops the flame, drops the box. He will fall as the double stun lands onto Flandra and Tarzan. And that singles out Shanks. Trying to flash away from Jinja, but you can't outrun the Warwick. And now Tarzan has to be on the back foot. Pops maximum dosage, but it's Arha with the bubble to lock him down. Moonlight Vigil, not enough trade back damage. Weibo punishing some critical AL mistakes. They are not out of this game.
Yeah, the solo laners trade ultimates, but it's Xiaohu who benefits, who ends up getting this top lane tier 1. That's a lot of gold in the pocket of this LeBlanc. We talk about the burst coming in from Weibo's side. A lot of that is going to need to be from this 1k gold lead LeBlanc in the mid lane. Zika is very strong in this game, but you need multiple sources of that damage to allow Elk and Arha to be able to play the back end of this fight.
Elk?
Schmovin'.
He's daring him. I dare you throw it, Kyle. Can't touch me. This reminded me of that Yunara game. He's got Pocket Kid Nami this game. He's like, if I got Arha with me, I ain't afraid of nobody. Maybe you should be afraid of this Mundo, though. This Mundo should be scary. That Death Sense should be scary. He has to cleanse it, force out the tidal wave again from Arha. But they jump with even the rest onto Mundo. You can't pop your dosage if you're getting clawed down by JJ, Tarzan.
He doesn't even get to press R. That is the best part of this comp, is you do have a ton of lockdown if you can secure a target.
Shanks was down the Weaver's Wall. Elk and JJ end up on the other side. Xiaohu goes for a little bit of poke. That's a bit ill-advised. He's to distort right back. Dragging down to about half HP as JJ's gonna wrestle control. Zika's going in with the Between Worlds. Immediate Hebo playing on top of Flandra wants to go right after him. Kyle doesn't hit the death sentence, he eats a bubble. JJ is waiting to go with that infinite duress, but he doesn't see an angle. Tarzan walks back forward. AL are so clumped up. Saohu, can you get a big burst damage on top of this backline? No, it's just JJ winning over 50-50, and he gets the big infinite duress on the Flandra. But again, Kyle pulls Warwick out of it, and now Tarzan turns his attention towards Elk. Has the maximum dosage pop, trying to heal up Cusley. Sick over the wall, bursts out one. Saohu goes in for a trade. Wait, Elk gets on to Kyle. Saohu gets out. Wolf cannot step up. Tarzan can't get any of these carries. It has to be the range of Shanks and Hope to claim some of these low kills, but nobody will give them a shot at it. Elk nearly gets taken down by a Shanks rock, but somehow Weibo walk out winning with kills and on soul point. Oh, look at Kyle too. He kind of juked them around. He walked around the ward, make him think this Baron isn't going down, but they spotted it now. Shake's gonna take about a half HP chunk as Kyle has a shot at Arha. Immediate flash, but look at the burst from Elk. They're gonna go right after Kyle. The tidal wave gonna knock Hope into the infinite duress. Arha, the enchanter support, comes up huge again, and it might just set this upset on fire. Down goes Tarzan, down goes Flandra. It's only Shanks left up to tell the tale. Weibo have a shot at Baron to try and close out this series.
Weibo Gaming, despite all odds, are able to find their way back into this game. They win the most pivotal fight of the entire series, and they're gonna take Baron off of it.
To them now, with the purple banner by their side. And we're back to the desperation that's been plaguing AL all series long, just errantly walking in, trying to stop the bleeding. But Tarzan at half HP has to be the hero. The split one MVP, one of the greats the jungle has to offer in our modern era, needs a clutch Barrett Dragon Smite, or this series might just be over. And they're not even gonna let Tarzan in. Infinite duress from JJ gets him out. Infernal Soul to Weibo Gaming. And it's guys like Zika right now and Arha that are coming up big for this Weibo team. You see Zika get out of a bot lane excursion there from Flandra. Push going to continue as Elk sidesteps a death sentence, and they'll look to knock down more turrets with a push from Xiaohu on the top side.
Xiaohu has been pushing this entire game. His side lane prowess has been phenomenal. It's really going to be impossible to try and stop both of these as he's looking for a kill in the Shanks.
My God, Shanks. Oh my God, Kyle. Where did he go? Who's gonna get Shanks as well? It's 2 immediate kills. This is the final moment. Elk puts the dagger into the hearts of AL, showing that the gap at the AD carry department is far and wide. But maybe the series gap is just what really extends from end to end as Weibo find kill after kill, and it's only Tarzan left up. It's only the split one MVP, one of the best the LPL has to offer, as he has to watch his split one crumble to a short finish under the mighty grip of the new look Weibo. Shock and awe to the LPL. Weibo Gaming will end AL season with a 3-1 series win. Yeah, AL's really good. BLG's really good. Like, top Esports was the JDG of this year. And what do we get? We got a WE run all the way through the lower bracket.